I have the pleasure of being joined by two legends today in sports and sports journalism. Dom Amore of the Hartford Courant and legendary coach Jim Calhoun of UConn and later University of St. Joseph. Gentlemen, good to see you here.
Good to see you here.
And congrats on the book. So I guess it's no surprise that Jim Calhoun would have a book someday. How did this partnership come together?
I had two other books. Lee Montville, who was a good friend of Dom, recommended Dom for the book to write it. Dare to Dream, right after the championship in '99, then a leadership book. But this was something different that I had a passion about. The fact of, are you doing more than teaching a jump shot, playing defense, playing hard, disciplining, all the things that I did and win. And yeah, and matter of fact, it is much more than the game. This is a stories 15, 16, and the kids I coach all that time, about them as people and how the game helped change, maturate them, and all the various things that you can do.
You have covered Coach for years. What's the one thing you learned about him writing this book that you didn't know?
Well, I think the thing that really comes out here is that, you know, people often asked, especially when he coached at UConn, how could players handle all the things he might yell or say to them? How would they handle all that? Why did they handle all that? And the thing I learned from Jim and his philosophy, and it's carried throughout his life, you can say tough things to people as long as they know you care about them, as long as they know where it's coming from. And that's, I think, is his secret. I think it's Dan Hurley's secret. I think it's Gino Auriemma's secret, that they can coach people hard and coach people tough because they know that he cares about them. And he coaches people, not X's and O's, and as he said, jump shots and passes and rebounds. He coaches people.
Writing a book can often be cathartic. Authors have told me, I've never written one, but this is what they say, that sometimes you learn something about yourself or you see something and you're like, you know what, I would have done something differently. How about you, Coach?
Well, I would have done some differently. Maybe some of the verbiage, I may have done that. But remember the nuns at Sisters of Mercy always say, I speak quickly and have a Boston accent. So he's not really saying what you think he's saying. But more importantly, tough love is needed everywhere. Really needed today, by the way. Real tough love. And if you love somebody, as Dom mentioned, and I did, I love my kids. I wanted to help them like the way I was helped when my dad died as a young man. And I really wanted to make sure that when they joined the family, the basketball family at UConn and the UConn family, that they were at a special, special place where they'd always have me, but more importantly, each other.
Were there any disagreements at all as you wrote this book together? Maybe you came across something, well, let's include that, and one person didn't want it in and one did?
No, not really. You know, we were pretty much on the same page. I think we both had the same idea that we wanted to select people to write about that Jim had a maximum impact on, or he felt he had the most impact on. And we wanted to get a mix of, obviously, the big names, the big stars that people would want to read about, but also some lesser-known players that he coached at St. Joe's or at Dedham High School or at Northeastern that were just really compelling stories of his relationships with them and what he learned from them and vice versa. So we were pretty much on the same page about what we were looking for in choosing the 15 or 16 topics. And it all went pretty smoothly. I can't remember one argument that we had.
Philosophically, we knew where we were going. We just had to find the best way to tell the story. Like, Emeka's not in there. One of the most incredible people I've ever met in my life. But Emeka could have gone to school X, Y, Z and still been Emeka.
Right.
And it's important that the lesson we're trying to tell about life and some people being there for you, that's what we're trying to tell.
That's the lesson you want out of this book?
Without question. And I want dads, moms, people to read. When Kimber was cut as a freshman, when Joe McGinn unfortunately died, our young manager, and all the various things that happened, that they see there's real life out there, but there's so many great things you can take out of life when you're around people that care.
Real life for you was coaching UConn. Was there a point, a turning point in your career, looking back on it, when you knew before 1999, we're going to win it all someday?
I said we can get this done. This is doable, I think it was the first day I ever said, this is doable.
The first day on the job.
At the press conference, first day. And I said that because I looked around and said, this has got to be better. We're in the best conference in America, the Big East.
Yeah.
6 of the 9 coaches end up being in the Hall of Fame. I don't think it's as like the South East Conference in football now. And the point being is I knew we had all the ingredients. We just needed to pull them together.
And when he said that, did you believe it? That
Well,
UConn would someday win a Final Four?
I think the important thing was to have those aspirations. I think before Jim got to UConn, the aspirations were to be one of the better teams in New England. The aspirations were maybe to be a middle-of-the-pack team in the Big East, maybe get the last NCAA tournament bid. And I think it was very important to have somebody come here and say, no, we aspire to be Kentucky. We aspire to be North Carolina. We aspire to be UCLA. And he made those things happen. You know, they often talk about what are blue blood. I don't know what blue blood is in terms of college basketball, but whatever it is, if UConn's not it, I don't know what is.
All right. And gentlemen, congratulations on writing a book. I know it's not an easy process. It's a long process and a lot of back and forth and the whole bit. And I'll give you one last plug. The title has 2 parts, right? It is first called?
More than the game.
More than the
More
game.
than the game, it's how the UConn dynasty was built on a culture of caring. And you can pre-order it right now on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, woodhallpress.com. Many already have, and it'll be in bookstores on October 7th.
I will order it as soon as I get off this set. Gentlemen, thank you so much.
Thank
Best
you.
of luck. Coming up, we love a bear story, and this is a crazy one.